What if the boundary between our world and the realm of the gods is thinner than you think? What if the gates to another dimension aren't hidden in deep space, but are towering right above our heads, shrouded in mist and ancient legends? Across the vast and mysterious lands of China, there are places that simply shouldn't exist. These are not just mountains. They are defied laws of physics, frozen paintings, and stairways to the divine. From stone dragons sleeping on ridgelines to temples balancing precariously on needle-thin peaks, these locations challenge everything we know about geography. They are dangerous, they are breathtaking, and they have been hiding in plain sight for millennia. Today, we are leaving the modern world behind. We are traveling deep into the heart of the Orient to uncover 5 places so surreal, you'll question if they are actually on Earth. Are you ready to step into the unknown? Let's begin. Prepare yourself, because we are leaving Earth again. Deep in Hunan province lies Wulingyuan, a place that looks so scientifically impossible that your brain struggles to process the scale of it. Imagine a forest, but instead of trees, you are surrounded by over 3,000 narrow quartz sandstone pillars, some towering over 200 meters into the sky. This is the landscape that inspired the floating Hallelujah Mountains in James Cameron's movie Avatar. These stone fingers pierce through the drifting mists, creating a labyrinth of verticality that feels prehistoric. Millions of years of water erosion have carved these pillars, leaving behind a stone forest that looks like the ruins of a city built by giants. The silence here is profound, broken only by the cry of wild birds or the wind whistling through the canyons. To make the experience even more surreal, humans have attached a marvel of engineering to the side of one of these massive cliffs, the Beilong Elevator. It is the highest outdoor elevator in the world. Riding it is a rush of adrenaline as you shoot up 326 meters in under 2 minutes, watching the ground fall away until you are eye level with the peaks. But the true beauty is found when the fog rolls in. The base of the pillars disappears, and suddenly, the mountains truly appear to be floating in the air. It is a chaotic, jagged, magnificent mess of geology. Standing on the edge of a cliff here, looking out at thousands of stone towers, you realize that nature is the greatest architect of all. Which pillar would you claim as your own in this alien world? We begin our journey in the south, deep within Hunan province, at a place that looks less like a mountain and more like the skeletal remains of a prehistoric titan. This is Gao Yiling. While most mountains are covered in lush forests or jagged granite, Gao Yiling is a smooth, undulating landscape of red sandstone that feels distinctly alien. It is a prime example of Danxia landform, but with a terrifying twist. The locals call it the walking on the knife's edge, and for good reason. Imagine standing on a ridge that is polished smooth by aeons of wind and rain. On either side of you, there are no gentle slopes, only sheer vertical drops into darkened pools of water hundreds of meters below. There is no soil, no trees to grab onto, just you and the bare, red rock. From above, these winding ridges look exactly like a giant dragon slumbering in the water, its spine arching out of the depths. For the longest time, this was a wild, undeveloped secret known only to the bravest outdoor enthusiasts and photographers. Walking here requires a meditative focus. One slip, one moment of vertigo, and the dragon claims you. As the sun begins to set, the entire landscape transforms. The red sandstone catches the dying light, glowing with an intense, blood-orange hue that makes the water below look like black ink. It is a landscape of stark, dangerous beauty. It forces you to ask yourself, do I trust my balance enough to walk the spine of a dragon? Would you dare to cross this heavenly ladder without looking down? If Gao Yiling is a test of nerves, our next destination is a test of your imagination. Welcome to Huangshan, or the Yellow Mountain, in Anhui Province. If you have ever seen a traditional Chinese ink painting with floating mists, gravity-defying pine trees, and jagged peaks, you haven't just seen art. You have seen Huangshan. This place is not merely scenery. It is the physical embodiment of Chinese ethereal aesthetics. Huangshan is famous for its four wonders. Its odd-shaped pines, its grotesque rocks, the sea of clouds, and the hot springs. But words fail to capture the atmosphere here. The pine trees are the true survivors of this realm. They twist and turn, growing directly out of solid granite cliffs, their roots defying biology to cling to life over bottomless voids. They stand like ancient guardians, watching over a world that seems to float. The most surreal moment on Huangshan occurs when the weather shifts. The valleys fill with a thick, rolling white mist known as the Sea of Clouds. The peaks are no longer mountains connected to the earth. They become isolated islands floating in a white ocean. Walking the stone paths here feels like walking through a dream. It is no wonder that for over 1,000 years, poets, emperors, and hermits have fled to these peaks to find the path to immortality. Whether it is covered in the fresh snow of winter or the fiery red leaves of autumn, Huangshan demands that you stop, breathe, and realize how small you truly are. If you could step inside a painting and live there forever, would you choose this floating world? Some mountains challenge the body, but Mount Emei in Sichuan province challenges the soul. Rising dramatically from the Sichuan basin, Emei is not just a geological wonder. It is one of the 4 sacred Buddhist mountains of China. For centuries, it has been whispered that this mountain is the Bodhimanda, or the place of awakening, for Samantabhadra, the Bodhisattva of benevolent action. The journey to the top is a pilgrimage through different worlds. You start in lush, subtropical forests, passing ancient monasteries that have stood since the dynasties of old. But as you climb higher, ascending thousands of stone steps, the air thins and the vegetation changes. You are entering the realm of the Golden Summit. Here, at an elevation of over 3,000 meters, stands a colossal golden statue of Samantabhadra riding a white elephant. When the sun hits the statue against the backdrop of a deep blue sky, it shines like a beacon from the heavens, visible for miles. But the true magic of Emei lies in a phenomenon known as the Buddha's light. Under the right conditions, when the sun is behind you and the clouds are below, your shadow is cast onto the clouds, surrounded by a rainbow-like halo. Ancient pilgrims believed this was a sign of their own enlightenment. However, keep your wits about you. The mountain is also home to the infamous Tibetan macaques, monkeys who act as the mischievous guardians of the path. They will rob you of your snacks just as quickly as the view robs you of your breath. If the clouds parted to reveal a halo around your shadow, would you believe it was science or something divine? We have saved the most unbelievable, the most improbable location for last. If you want to know what it looks like to touch the domain of the gods, you must go to Guizhou province and find Fanjingshan. This isn't just a mountain. It is a solitary spire of rock that survived while everything around it eroded away, leaving a mushroom shape towering above the clouds. The summit of Fanjingshan, known as the Red Cloud's Golden Summit, rises 2,236 meters above sea level. But what makes it mind-bending is the very top. The peak splits into 2 separate spires, separated by a deep, terrifying gorge. And incredibly, sitting on top of each spire is a temple, one dedicated to Buddha and one to Maitreya. Bridging this impossible gap is a small, narrow stone bridge hanging over the abyss. It looks like a set piece from a fantasy movie, a citadel where an ancient wizard might live. To reach this sanctuary, you must climb over 8,000 steep steps. It is a grueling vertical marathon that symbolizes the hardships of life before reaching enlightenment. The isolation here is total. Fanjingshan is an ecological island, home to species found nowhere else on Earth, like the Guizhou golden monkey. When the weather turns, the mountain becomes an island in a literal sea of white clouds, completely cut off from the world below. Standing on that bridge, suspended between the 2 temples, you are standing on the thin line between the mortal world and the heavens. It is lonely, it is windy, and it is utterly magnificent. Would you have the courage to cross the bridge? From the dragon-back ridges of Gao Yiling to the floating temples of Fanjingshan, China's landscapes prove that reality is often stranger and more beautiful than fiction. These are places where the earth reaches up to kiss the sky, where silence speaks louder than words, and where every step is a journey into the mystical. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown and want to explore more of our planet's most unbelievable places, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We have many more secrets to uncover together. Until next time, keep exploring